What's up, my crypto legends? The price of Bitcoin is hitting a huge major resistance zone. Will we manage to break above this level and have continuation to the upside? I'm going to go through the theory here that possibly we have finished the 5 waves here on the spot exchanges and we are ready here for a huge massive rally in the next coming days and weeks, going all the way up to $30,400 possibly. Now stay with me because there's a lot of resistance that are going to be mentioned in today's episode. If we do get those rejections, of course, that will be very bearish. So make sure to stay tuned in this episode. Hi there, Andy here. Welcome back to another episode of Bitcoinsensus. Let's dive in here straight into the chart, guys. As we can see that $25,000 range is holding very, very nicely. That is the strongest support level that Bitcoin has here for the last few months. It was the highs here back in 2022 and in February of 2023, as you can see, holding very nicely as resistance and then getting that huge bounce in June and also getting the bounce right now in September. So does this mean that we're going to hold? Are we going to form a huge massive double bottom, or is this a double top? Will we manage to break the neckline in the next coming days and weeks? Well, all of that is speculation. Of course, we need to realize where the price is at and look at the intraday levels of support and resistance for those trading opportunities. And let me just zoom in here right away. Let's go with the Elliott wave theory here, guys, because what we do understand is that the high here that was created in July at $31,800 had a wave here to the downside and then got a pretty nice bounce, as you can see, creating that second wave and then the third wave very impulsively. This being the fourth wave, as you can see, and right now created that low on the 11th of September. So if we do go with Elliott wave theory, we can speculate on this, right? Where, there has been 5 waves down as we've created a new low here on the 11th of September. Does this mean that we have finished the A corrective wave here, okay, for the last few months, and we're going to enter that B wave in the next coming weeks? It is definitely a possibility, guys, as we've already created those 5 waves down. Now this B wave, for me, it can go all the way up here to $30,400, which is basically a series of lower highs that we do have here that are very disturbing. It is also around about the 7/8 Fibonacci. So this is kind of a higher time frame speculation where this could happen. I would expect this to massively reject, not creating a new yearly high and then obviously collapsing from this range. We'll be going through this in the next coming days and weeks, of course, see if that is definitely a possibility, because we need to break above some big major resistance. What major resistance? Well, the first one being the value area high, where we have been testing here for the last few days. No doubt that this is looking quite bullish for an attempt of an explosive breakout. From the last 3 weeks, we take a look at the value area high and we are building up here some strength as we are forming higher lows here for the last few days, and this looks like it wants to pop here very aggressively. Will this be successful or not? Well, it's something that we're going to check here in the next coming hours, because if we do have that attempt of breaking out above the value area high, trying to go to 26,700, 800 and fail miserably getting back inside of the value area high, then of course this will be very bearish, guys. I will say that this is likely to come all the way down to the value area low at $25,600. This is something that we need to pay attention. I do not want to fight the trend. I want to realize where we are getting rejected here. We need to know where it is getting rejected. This is no level to short as you're breaking above the level. Only if you do get that powerful rejection and get back beneath these highs, okay, in the next coming hours or couple of days, if we do get that breakout today, we need to get back inside of the value area low to understand it's a failed breakout. And here is where we can speculate that the price is likely going to crash down here to the value area low, which is likely to get supported, okay? So that would be kind of a setup here that I'm looking for. Now, that's only speculation. The price can actually have a massive explosive move going to 27k or even higher, guys. So this is no range to short if it is an explosive breakout and does not get the rejection getting back beneath the value area high and the series of highs that has been created the last few days. This is building up. You can see here that it's forming a kind of an ascending triangle because you are creating those very aggressive higher lows here for the last few days, which is building up for a possible explosive breakout. You have been testing this resistance several times, okay? So this is no sign of weakness. Sign of weakness would be hitting the level, creating that swing failure pattern here like we did get into that short just a couple of days ago and making some pretty decent profits here on this movement down. Now, if we are building up here, hitting the level several times with higher lows, I can already tell you this is likely to have an attempt of a big breakout here, okay? Now, is this breakout going to be successful or not? Well, we're just going to have to see what are the next resistance zones here that I'm looking for. Well, if we do dive in here on the BTC US dollar pair where I do have my levels marked up, guys, I'm going to go through that right away. And then on the higher time frames, we're going to talk about bigger resistance zones and the massive bullish case scenario that could take us to 30,400 in the next 1 to 2 weeks. It is a possibility, but if we do get rejection here from these levels, of course, that will not happen. Just a quick reminder, of course, thank you very much for smashing up that like button, guys. If you are interested in trading on one of the best exchanges out there, Bybit is your choice. You have $30,000 worth of bonus. This is where I do most of my crypto trading. You have $30,000, guys, to be claimed with a link down below in the description. Dive in here through the levels, guys, here again. What if we don't successfully break above this value area high? Well, we're looking for that rejection like mentioned. But if we do break out here and not reject and stay above this zone, where is our next big resistance zone? Like on yesterday's video, I was talking about, hey, there is a possibility that we could back test this level over here, right, from the highs of the 23rd of August, and that is with the 618 Fibonacci from this pivot high to the pivot low. So round about that zone is a possible rejection level. It could be an intraday scalp scenario because you could get bounced here from the value area high and the series of highs that you have been created and have follow through, all right? So we'll be analyzing the situation here with the legends. Is it possible for a short scalp day trade? Absolutely. Are we going to bounce from this zone? Well, of course, we'll be looking for that formation, that exhaustion from the bears, that double bottom scenario at the value area high to see if we can have that continuation to the upside to our next big major resistance zone. There's a naked point of control at $27,200 here. This was from the price action of the 31st of August. Will we get rejected from that zone? Well, for me, it's going to be looking quite bullish if we do start getting, pretty powerful, volume here and hitting the level and not getting rejected, right? I need to see those rejections. I need to see that exhaustion, those double tops on the lower time frames to take that shorting decision. If that doesn't happen, guys, no shorts to be taken and we're likely going to go to higher levels. And if we can get into some scalping scenarios and hold those scalps as day trades, well, obviously we would want to get into them as well. If you follow the trend, obviously you would want to get into the last higher lows from this massive uptrend that we've been forming for the last few days and try and go with the trend, okay? Because you might not get rejection and you want to follow here, of course, this possible breakout to go to higher levels. So that is the kind of scenarios, guys. If you're not in a long position already, there is a possibility that you get an explosive breakout and you come back down and consolidate at these highs, all right, in the value area high. That could be a level for a possible scalp day trade, all right, that can turn into a swing trade if we were to get some massive follow through here in the next coming days if you don't reject properly from these major zones that I've just explained, all right. 618 is a very curious level here from this high, from that failed auction right there with, okay, the 618 Fibonacci level that we could get short-term rejection. But overall, this is kind of been bouncing. This is range trading, guys. So it can be a short into a long, depending on what kind of consolidation we do have, all right? Just to be aware of these levels. For the moment, with this build-up, guys, it does look like that we are going to get that breakout. Possibly when I'm posting the video, we've already getting that attempt of the breakout. So I'm going to be as fast as possible to post this video. Going on higher time frames, what are the massive bullish case scenarios? Well, if we do go here on Coinbase, guys, there is something very curious of this. We have been talking about the possibility of forming a BC corrective move here. And in an A wave, of course, you would want 5 waves down, like I explained at the beginning of the video. That is already finished on the spot exchanges. So we could see that B wave going to the 7-8 and claiming the $30,400. Get people very bullish, and then obviously get that corrective move in the next coming weeks to finally break beneath $25,000. Now, there is something very curious about this. If we do get here the pivot high, all right, from the new yearly high with this lower high, there is a possibility of a bump and run scenario. This bump and run scenario needs to break above the resistance. It needs to break above this high from the 30th of August, which is at 28,150. And if we do get the anchored VWAP as well, guys, we can see that that is also a massive resistance zone. From the new yearly high, the anchored VWAP is round about the resistance here in the next coming days of that lower high, and also this level over here. It is a possible rejection level, but a level where we possibly can break out anchored VWAP, lower high here for this bump and run scenario, and also this high right over here that will likely, if it is a successful breakout, turn into support to finally come all the way up to 30,400, which would be my target, this series of lower highs. That is a level that I do expect a major rejection, which is also at the 7-8 from pivot high to the pivot low, to form that B wave, and then obviously in the weeks ahead entering into the end of the year to get the huge massive corrective wave. I personally think that a new yearly high is not going to happen, and we will reject at some point. Of course, like I explained, on the lower time frames, we got the possibility of a failed move up here. We're going to have to be paying attention to those rejections, to those levels, to attempt that short position. If the volume is very high, then obviously we are looking here for long scenarios at support to continue this possibility of a new uptrend for the next coming week, guys. Nothing else to be said. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one.